Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to talk about 10 interesting psychological facts about quiet people. We all know someone who is more on the quiet side. The person doesn't say much and doesn't get noticed much. Maybe they are a friend or a family member, or perhaps they are just someone you see around your neighborhood. Maybe it's you, but despite the fact that society often think that being loud and outgoing is the best way to make friends and succeed, while being more reserved is often viewed as socially inept. And there is a lot more to quiet people than you might think. Let's look at some interesting psychological fact about the silent type so you can understand these individuals better. Maybe even learn a thing or two about yourself along the way. Number one, they are not necessarily shy. It's easy to assume that a quiet person is shy, and while this is sometimes true, it's not always the case. Quiet people don't like to draw attention to themselves, that's for sure. They may even go out of their way to avoid being center of attention, but that does not mean they are shy. They can be friendly, socialize just fine, and enjoy talking with others they are comfortable with, although they prefer to say less and listen more. Quiet types may have a lot going on inside their heads, but they are not always comfortable sharing their thoughts or feelings. Number two, they are incredibly loyal. Quiet people do not like being superficial just for the sake of having more friends. They prefer quality over quantity. So, getting close to them can take some time and effort because their trust is hard earned. They have very few genuine friends with whom they can truly connect with. So, when you do become close, it's a big deal. In fact, loyalty is one of their core values. They also know how to keep a secret and will always stay true to you. The third quality of psychological quality of the quiet people, they are not necessarily angry or depressed. Quiet individuals are often misunderstood and misinterpreted by others and angry or depressed. While this may be true for some people, it's not necessarily true for all quiet people since they are more introverted and get drained by social interactions. They may simply need to get away from the crowd for a while and recharge their batteries by being alone. They really enjoy spending time on their own so they can reflect on life and learn from past experiences without having to explain themselves or defend their decision. Psychological fact number 4, they are curious, independent, and highly self motivated. Quiet people are often curious, which leads them to try out and learn about new things. They are more independent and self motivated, thus, more likely to achieve their goals. These folks don't need someone telling them what or when something needs to be done. They prefer to work alone because they like being in control of their own destiny. In addition, quiet people are rather imaginative and creative. This is because they spend a lot of time thinking about things that others might not think about in the first place. The number 5, they are often highly sensitive and empathetic. You might be surprised to learn that quiet people are more likely to be highly sensitive and empathetic than their louder counterparts. This is because they are more likely to have a strong emotional response to things. They might cry during sad movies or get upset more easily. However, this does not mean they are more inclined to act out in anger or be easily offended by other people's words. They are simply more aware of their own feeling than those around them. Quieter people also have the ability to put themselves in other people's shoes and understand their feelings and emotions as well as relate through shared experience. The psychological fact about quiet people, number 6, they are not necessarily bored. Even if they look like they are quiet, people are rarely bored. They might be thinking about something which can be pretty interesting for them, or they might be enjoying the silence and focusing on what's happening around them. And since they are active listeners, they can also be paying attention to a conversation or every without needing a jump in immediately with their own 2 cents. Additionally, quieter individuals get energized and focused from solo activities. They have a rich inner life as well, so they don't need to fill it with external stimulation to feel fulfilled. The number 7 is they are more self-aware. Quiet people are comfortable with who they are, so much so that they have no problem expressing themselves in a way that's authentic. This trait makes them honest with themselves and others too. These folk don't second guess themselves because they are very clear on how they feel about things. They have no problem telling others when they need a change or that something is not working for them anymore, and they have the courage to make those changes. Furthermore, quiet individuals like opportunities where they can grow personally or professionally, and this desire for personal growth makes them even more self-aware as individuals who appreciate continuous improvement. Here is number 8. They are more emotionally stable. Generally speaking, quiet people are emotionally stable, which means they are more likely to have a positive outlook on life, and they are better at dealing with stress. This is because they are very good at controlling their emotions, and they are typically less reactive than the average person because of their ability to speak up when necessary and allow others to talk without interrupting or judging them. They are able to take in information without being influenced by it too much or jumping to conclusion based solely on what someone else says. For this reason, these individuals are better equipped to deal with difficult situations and can resolve conflict more easily. So here is number 9. They are more patient. Quiet people are usually more patient than those who are loud and talkative. When a situation unfolds, they are more likely to wait for it to develop before coming up with an opinion or course of action. This patience is rooted in their ability to focus on the present moment and deal with one thing at a time. Quieter people don't rush into new experience, which help them be more aware of what's happening around them in the moment rather than getting caught up in their thoughts about the past or future. As a result, they have more patience when it comes to dealing with situations as they arise. They are less likely to make snap judgment or decision based on emotional responses. Here is the last number 10. They are highly observant and have a good memory. Quiet people have a knack for noticing details and remembering the small things. This is because they pay attention to their surroundings, observe keenly, and listen carefully. They often remember what others say and do, and can recall information quickly. Quieter folk are also great problem solver because they spend more time analyzing situations before deciding what action need to be taken next. As you can see, there is a lot of depth and complexity to quiet people, and we could all benefit from learning about them instead of judging them.